Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Willow recognized what she had done in the Quartermain playroom and was terrified. She lay on the floor with Drew naked after grief sex, knowing she had most certainly ended her marriage. Willow had a horrible expression on her face as she dressed. Drew told Willow that he understood it shouldn't have happened. Drew justified his behavior by claiming that he was caught off guard by Sam's death. Willow said they were both to blame for their frolic on the floor. "There are two of us in this room," Willow remarked. "We're both responsible for what just happened." She insisted that what they did would never happen again. "I love Michaeal," Willow cried. "I'm not sure what I was thinking." Drew vowed to keep their sex a secret. Willow then said that she would exit the back staircase and return through the front so that no one would know she was ever with Drew upstairs. Neither Willow nor Drew realized she had left her earring on the floor. Brooklyn volunteered to be Michael's listening ear, but he was more focused on finding Willow. Brooklyn didn't know where Michael's wife was, so the subject shifted to Sam. They still couldn't believe she had died so quickly. Scout dashed into the living room, looking for Brooklyn, since she had a frightening dream. She tried to find Drew, but he was not in his room. Love General Hospital, B&B, Days, or other soap operas? Join the debate on our SC forums. Click here to interact with fans and participate in debates immediately. Willow sneaked in the front door to see Michael waiting in the living room as Brooklyn led Scout to the kitchen for hot chocolate. Willow claimed to have switched off her phone and not heard him text or call. Drew walked in next. Willow wrapped her arms around him, telling Drew she was sorry about Sam. Scout rushed into the living room, telling Drew she had an awful dream. Drew tried to console his daughter, telling her it was acceptable to be upset. Willow looked on in anxious awe, while Michael peered at her warily. Later, when Michael checked his phone, he discovered a video of Willow and Drew performing the deed in the playroom on their shared baby monitor app. When Willow entered the entryway, Michael hurriedly buried the phone. Scout asked Willow if she might help Drew tuck her in. Michael watched Willow, Drew, and Scout stroll up the stairs together, as if they were a family. Holly admitted to Robert that she had taken Sidwell's jewels when she fled Africa. Robert was outraged, but he committed to do everything he could to help her. Holly informed Robert that her hotel room had been ransacked. Robert suggested Holly return the jewels, but Holly refused. Robert asked Holly what she intended to do with the diamonds, but she refused to tell him. Holly urged Robert to stop Sidwell from following her until her Port Charles business was finished. Robert was frightened that Holly was preparing to leave town again. "I want to get to know my daughter, and I want you to be part of that," Robert told me. Anna burst in and broke the bad news to Robert and Holly. Sidwell was in Port Charles and kidnapped Sasha. Carly went to Brennan's office to inform him that Sasha had just been stolen right out of the Quartermain kitchen by a man who instructed her to inform Sasha's mother that he wanted his diamonds returned. Carly described the man as being tall and muscular. Carly recognized Sidwell the moment Brennan gave her a photograph of the offender. Carly reminded out that Sasha's mother had died, therefore Sidwell's statement made little sense. Brennan summoned Anna to discuss the matter. Anna was astonished to learn that Sidwell was in Port Charles. When Carly told Anna what happened to Sasha, she was surprised to learn that Holly was Sasha's mother. Anna emphasized that their first concern was to get Sasha to safety. "I think I know where to start," she added. Portia met Lucas at the hospital and inquired about the status of Sam's autopsy. Portia did not have any answers yet. Brad overheard the talk but tried to stay out of sight. After Lucas moved away, Portia approached Isaiah to discuss. Portia and Isaiah moved their conversation to Portia's office. Isaiah was pleased to learn that Lulu was doing well. Portia asked Isaiah if there were any signs that Lucas had made a mistake during Sam's surgery. Isaiah insisted that Lucas did the surgery flawlessly. Portia stated she was concerned since Lucas did surgery on his sister, which is against protocol. Isaiah wondered whether Portia was looking for actual answers or a scapegoat. Portia stated that there was a whole different level of pressure for Dr. Jones when he was in the OR because he was performing surgery on his sister. In the lounge, Lucas sifted through his notes, looking for information on post-operative cardiac arrest. After his shower, Lucas dug through his locker and found a snapshot of himself and Sam. Brad went in softly while Lucas was getting dressed. When Dante arrived home, he heard a key in the door. He intuitively assumed it was Sam, but it was Sunny. Dante observed how quiet it was in the penthouse. Sam filled this room with love and laughter. And now there's deafening silence, Dante added. Sunny tried to persuade Dante that things will better, but he was too distraught to believe it. She provided a home for my son. She provided him a mother while he was lost. She treated my child as if he were one of hers. She invited us into her home to become part of her family. What will happen to my family now that she is gone? Dante asked. Sunny warned Dante not to drown in his sadness. Dante was concerned that he wouldn't be enough for Rocco, so Sunny reminded him that he had the support of his friends and family. Dante hurried upstairs to take a shower before Olivia arrived. Sunny offered Olivia an update on their son, mentioning that Dante was concerned about Sam's children. When Dante returned downstairs, Olivia offered him a dinner, but he declined. Olivia invited Dante to stay at the Quartermain house with the kids, but he preferred to stay at the penthouse. Right now, it feels like I am drowning, but I can't see a path forward, said Dante. Alexis awoke from a tear-filled snooze on her couch to a knock on the door. When she opened it, Curtis stood there. He told Alexis he was sorry to hear about Sam. Curtis, her AA sponsor, wanted to make sure Alexis was sober. Alexis admits to have considering drinking about 1,000 times already. However, Alexis assured him that she had no intention of drinking. Alexis told Curtis that she had seen Finn drink when grieving and was resolved not to repeat the same mistakes. Alexis stressed that she would not use Sam's death as an excuse to drink. Her memory will keep me sober, and I will consider that her last gift to me, she added. After Curtis left, Alexis searched through old photo albums and burst into tears. There was another knock on her door. Sunny was there to soothe Alexis. I simply want someone to tell me this is not real. How could my daughter have died? How is it possible that this happened? Alexis asked. Alexis has done this over and again for a week. You aren't meant to outlive your children, yet Alexis did, and her loss is our heartbreak. Alexis went through the movements and emotions this week, and it was a lovely thing to watch. Perhaps Alexis's most poignant moment came when she sat with Sunny and told him about her regrets about giving Sam up for adoption when she was just a teenager. She wishes she had rebelled against her father and retained her child. Holly tells Robert in the DA's office that she understands if he cannot forgive her since she is unable to forgive herself. She wondered if Robert would cut her out of his life if he couldn't get over the fact that she kept his daughter from him. Maxie and Spinelli toasted with cider because Mac had taken the kids trick-or-treating for them. Maxie assumed Mac would consider it a favor to him instead, and Spinelli assumed Mac would allow the kids significantly more candy than they would, but Maxie corrected him, saying it would be significantly more than I would. There was a knock at the door, and the two dashed out to give candy to trick-or-treaters, but a sad-looking Jason was there instead. In the hospital chapel, Rocco told Laura that Sam's death was his fault. She tried to convince him that it wasn't, but through tears, he asked his grandma if she knew what was on his mind when Lulu and Sam were in surgery. He admitted, if only one of them could live, I wanted it to be my mom. She assured him that was a natural reaction, but he believed that putting it out there in the cosmos made it come true. Sunny sat with Dante in the hospital and asked what he could do. I don't know, Dante replied, tell me how to live without her. Love General Hospital, B&B, Days, or other soap operas? Join the debate on our SC forums. Click here to interact with fans and participate in debates immediately. Meanwhile, Alexis was with Christina and Molly at Sam's house, and she was stricken with grief. They told her that everything would be fine, but she refused. She gasped for oxygen and cried, saying, I know I'm supposed to be comforting you right now, but I can't. I am really sorry, I don't know how. Robert began, out of curiosity, but Holly interrupted, that killed the cat, you know. He went on to question, if he never saw her again, would she stay out of his life? She inquired if it was what he wanted, and he said that there were times when he thought she was dead, and those were some of the worst days of his life. She understood, but Robert said he didn't want her to leave and wondered whether they could re-establish their trust after everything she'd withheld from him over the years. Drew entered the room where Scout was and inquired as to what she was drawing. She said that she was drawing a picture of herself, Danny, and Sam at the park, and he remarked it was stunning. He asked if she wanted to talk about her mother, if she had any questions or concerns, and vowed to always be honest with her. She inquired as to whether Sam was truly gone, to which he said yes and expressed regret that he had to say so. She does not want her mother to be gone. Carly inquired at the Quartermaines as to Danny's level of productivity. He explained that Sam always segregated his Halloween sweets for quality control to verify that it was all safe to eat. He assumed she did it because she simply wanted some candy. Carly informed him that the dentist across from her always gave out toothbrushes, and Danny thought, that's just wrong. He divided the candy Scout didn't enjoy. Carly commended him on being a good brother, and he stated that Sam always said it was his responsibility to watch out for Scout, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Jason went into Maxie and Spinelli's house and asked whether the kids were there. Maxie recounted that they were out trick-or-treating, and when she inquired if everything was well, he replied, no. Spinelli wanted to take the conversation into his office, but Jason demanded that they both hear what he said. He informed them that Sam had suffered a heart attack, and when Maxie asked to visit her at the hospital, Jason told her she couldn't since Sam had died. Maxie was shocked, and Jason simply stated, Sam died. Dante asked Sonny if he realized Sam was the reason he was alive. They mentioned Dante's PTSD from his WSB mission and how she helped him put parts of his life back together. Sonny acknowledged that he couldn't get through to Dante at the moment, but Sam did. Dante claimed she was his true buddy, and Sonny added that it worked both ways. Dante said it took some time, but they eventually became each other's second chance. Sonny was relieved she got him through to the other side. Dante pondered who would do it this time, and Sonny said, you. Molly asked Alexis to tell them what occurred, but she didn't know. She was with Sam, who was okay but didn't wake up. The girls were grateful Alexis was with Sam in her final moments, so she wasn't alone. Alexis stated, this isn't supposed to happen. I am not supposed to lose my children. The three hugged and grieved together. Holly assured Robert that she loved him and apologized for being cowardly about difficult discussions. She confesses to being afraid at the prospect of rejection. She admitted to lying to him or herself, but said it was not out of malice. Robert believed her. She reasoned that if he hadn't known about Sasha and the secrets she concealed from him, they might have been able to reconcile, but Robert responded that she would eventually have to tell him about Sasha. He stated that even if that happened, they would remain where they are. Holly also acknowledged that she expected to have to tell him and Sasha everything because they are both important to her. Laura informed Rocco that this is not how the universe works. It was tragic, but had nothing to do with him. He was grateful Mom always treated him like one of the kids, not like he wasn't her son. He explained that he and Sam had a secret handshake that no one else knew about, and Laura thought it was unique. They both agreed, and Rocco questioned how he could have had such bad ideas. Laura wondered whether Sam was present and what she would say to him. He replied that Sam would have claimed he had no influence over what transpired. Laura agreed and stated that Sam would not blame him, and he should not blame himself. Sonny told Dante that he was in a different place now than when he initially met Sam. Dante claimed it was because she helped him through it. Sonny stated that Dante's family was there for him. It's a long list of people who would do anything in their power to support you, Sonny told me. Dante stated that it felt improper, and Sonny agreed. Sonny mentioned that Dante and Sam were very well together. Dante knew he had to keep going for the kids, but he was scared that after he left the hospital, he'd have to start over without Sam. But he doesn't know how to do it and does not want to be without her. Alexis reassured Molly and Christina that Sam loved them. Molly bemoaned that the last time they were all together, Sam fled because, despite Sam's good act of donating her liver to Lulu, Molly and Christina made it all about them. Alexis explained that they couldn't have predicted what would happen and that they should have no regrets, just do whatever they could to hold on to one another because the three of them are all they have. She stated that they will all love each other forever and never let go. Maxie believed it should not have occurred because Lulu's life was at stake, and Spinelli noted that the treatment was intended to be regular. Jason confirmed that she suffered a heart attack, and the doctors had no idea why. Maxie shed tears as she remembered texting Sam that morning and telling Georgie to preserve peanut butter cups to deliver to Sam after Halloween. Spinelli inquired as to whether the doctors were truly unaware of what had occurred, to which Jason responded that they were investigating. Jason explained that they let him see her after she died to say goodbye. Holly felt unhappy with herself for not telling Robert that Sasha was his daughter when she discovered he was still alive. He remarked, "Fear's a powerful motivator." Holly stated the longer she kept the secret, the more difficult it was to divulge. Robert explained that he understood her impulse, and she asked if he could live with it. He responded, "Could you?" Holly stated that the thing she dreaded the most over the years was seeing contempt in his eyes for keeping Sasha hidden. A flashback occurred in which Robert chastised Holly for faking her death, and she fled because of the contempt in his eyes. In the present, he reminded her that he forgives her for it. She expressed surprise, and he responded that if he forgave her once, she should have expected him to do so again. Carly asked Danny about trick-or-treating, and he acknowledged that, while Scout had a good time, he was concerned about Sam, who was in surgery at the time. He mourned that Sam hadn't seen Scout in her costume. But when they arrived at the hospital, he suspected something was wrong since Alexis was afraid. He noticed Jason had seen it and urged Danny to take Scout to Bobby's. Carly said it must have been difficult waiting, and Danny replied it felt like hours while he prayed his father would arrive and say everything was well. She questioned whether he was afraid because they didn't know what was going on with Sam, and Danny responded he kept things together for Scout. Scout eventually persuaded him to go trick-or-treating with her, and he was grateful for the distraction. He hypothesized that Scout couldn't even imagine anything horrible happening to her mother. "I knew something was wrong," said Danny. "But I never thought my mom could die." Scout asked Drew what would happen next, who would cook her lunch and drive her to school. Drew responded that they'd have to figure things out. He said that she needed to know she wasn't alone and that she was loved by her entire family. He mentioned the Quartermains, Danny, Rocco, Grandma Alexis, Aunt Molly, and Aunt Christina. Drew agreed and informed her that she was surrounded by individuals who would go to any length to help her get through this. Scout indicated that she only wanted her mother, and Drew expressed his wish to bring Sam back for her. He stated that it would be difficult for anyone who loved Sam. When she inquired if he loved Sam, Drew said, "How could I not love her? She gave me the best gift in the world," Scout realized, and he promised to always be there for her. Scout sadly replied, "That's what Mommy always said." Spinelli couldn't accept Sam's death as true. He claimed she had narrowly evaded harm numerous times, causing him unnecessary stress. Until now, Maxie interjected. "I can no longer rely on her cool head to keep me focused," Spinelli remarked. Benefit from her wise counsel. Take on an inquiry or a caper. She couldn't take it when I called it that. Maxie said they made terrific collaborators, and Spinelli said she was an even better friend. Jason informed Spinelli that Sam loved him. Spinelli acknowledged Sam with being the first to give him a chance, and she even saw him. Jason stated that Sam helped him recognize Spinelli's potential and that they became friends because of her. "And mine," Maxie remarked, to which Jason responded that he still owed Sam two things. Holly claimed she believed in Robert but not in herself. She stated that crafting a con is an illusion that Robert said she was good at. She stated that realism was where she lacked. She wasn't made out for the daily grind. "Domesticity is not my strong suit," she admitted, explaining why she left Sasha with her mother while financially supporting them. Robert cynically stated that the money she provided them was legitimate, to which Holly said that everyone she duped out of money either had a lot of it or had done something terrible to someone else and deserved to lose it. "Most ethical con woman in the business," he jokingly stated. Holly confessed that when she found out Robert was alive, she didn't want to dump her mess of a life on his lap. She knew he'd help but was concerned about the expense. Danny was relieved Scout was able to go trick-or-treating and have fun before learning the horrible news. Carly congratulated him for putting on a brave front and making Scout happy. He questioned if Scout would ever have another joyful memory, to which Carly replied that she was confident he would. Danny mentioned that he used to enjoy Halloween, and Carly recalled that he was Captain America for 3 years in a row. He stated that even though he was outgrowing the outfit, he continued to wear it, despite Sam's constant purchases of costumes for him. Carly informed him that Sam knew Danny adored what he loved. He mentioned that Sam loved peanut butter cups and that he would always attempt to acquire extras for her. Carly hugged him. Because she knew Danny would not believe her, Carly chose not to tell him that everything would be fine, but that he had many people who loved him. Drew assured Scout that even though she couldn't see Sam, her mother would always be with her because love never dies. He told her to keep going, knowing Sam would never abandon her. Drew was delighted to be there, as was she. Laura informed Rocco that everyone had unpleasant thoughts and feelings, and when he inquired if she had, she replied that he would be astonished. He continued to beat himself up for his thoughts, and Laura said, "What we think and feel does not make us responsible for what happened." She said that despite the heartache and tragedy, Sam died for medical reasons unrelated to anything going on in his brain or heart. Rocco told Laura that he had now understood what she was saying, and she was relieved, telling him that what Sam did was magnificent. "She gave your mother the most precious gift ever, and that is how I will remember her." Rocco agreed. Dante told Sunny that he had proposed to Sam after she awoke from surgery. Sunny did not ask what she said because he already knew the answer. Dante began to tear up, expressing that he thought he had waited too long. Sunny questioned why, and Dante responded that they had everything, including happiness and a mixed family of children who adored them both. He reasoned that since they already had a family, there was no need to upset the boat. Sunny inquired as to what had changed, and Dante responded, "I wanted more, I wanted to make this beautiful human being my wife." He then stated that there was no longer anything, and it was finished before they could begin. Sunny placed his hand on Dante's shoulder. Jason hugged a sobbing Spinelli as he left the apartment. Somberly, Spinelli and Maxie walked back in, holding hands and crying. Alexis was returning to the hospital to see whether the physicians knew what had happened. Christina and Molly intended to accompany her, but Molly received notification that the meal service she ordered for Sam wanted to know the start date. Christina suggested they cancel, but Alexis insisted the kids needed it. However, Molly began to cry, saying that, despite her preparations, Sam is gone. "We'll never see Sam again. How is this possible?" Alexis wrapped her arms around Molly. Dante questioned why he hadn't proposed sooner. Sunny questioned whether it would have made a difference. Dante stated he didn't know and reflected on the recollections of a ceremony and the vows they could have made. Sunny warned Dante that the what-ifs were going to drive him insane. Dante explained that it was a means of avoiding something he was afraid to admit. Sunny predicted that the future would be difficult and frightening. Dante reflected on all of the missing memories that would never be made again, such as hearing Sam's key open the door to let him know she was home safe. Sunny said that Dante needed to keep going for the sake of the children, which would motivate him. Dante said Sunny better be correct about that, to which Sunny said, "I'm right about everything, and you know that." He smiled and said, "You've got them. We've got you." Dante sobbed, and they hugged. Rocco and Laura lit candles in the chapel. He asked Laura if they should pray, and once she agreed, he asked if she might assist him. She clutched his hand and wrapped her arm around him, thanking God for bringing everyone together through Sam's love. While she prayed, her words were heard as various scenes played out. Maxie and Spinelli sat and held each other while their children sorted through Halloween candy. Jason walked into where Carly and Danny were, and Danny ran to Jason, who mouthed thank you to her. Scout showed Drew her finished drawing, and he hugged her, and Alexis held Christina and Molly tightly in her arms. Laura completed the prayer by stating, "And we pray that Sam will watch over us until we see her again one day, Amen." The image then turned to her bringing Rocco to Dante in the hospital, where father and son embraced. Holly told Robert that she thought it was best if she left town. He didn't believe it was best when she departed, but she pointed out that their goodbyes always meant they'd see each other again. A flashback showed Robert remarking that he had never loved anyone more than Holly. In the present, she stated, "If this is our final goodbye, there's something I need to tell you, Robert. There's never been a time when I've loved anyone more than I do right now." The two exchanged passionate kisses. Anna contacted Jack from her office and left a message asking for an update on whether he was saving Sasha. Rick strolled in just as she was hanging up. Ava Jerome's trial begins soon. "Despite recent tragic events, I still have a duty to protect my client to the best of my ability," Rick explained. He wanted to know about the images taken during Christina's accident. Rick stated that he had his copies but wanted to know where Anna obtained hers. Anna stated that images depicting an argument came to her knowledge. Rick applauded her remarks but wanted to know who took the photographs. Rick suggested there were grounds why the entire lawsuit should be dismissed. Anna studied the paperwork and confirmed that Dante was the first cop on the scene, but she was unaware that Christina had fallen from Ava's room. Anna explained that Chase took charge once she was brought in. Rick explained that they didn't have a justification to arrest Ava until Jason was involved. "I am asking you straight out. Was Jason the one who gave you the images in question?" Rick inquired. Anna stated that the photographs were taken by a private investigator hired by Sonny. Anna said she did not receive the images from Sonny, but accused Rick of exploiting the situation to get to the brother he despised. Rick thought Anna's willingness to trust Jason demonstrated either bias toward Ava or great naivete on her behalf. "Which is it, Commissioner?" Rick asked. Rick claimed that Anna was too close to known criminals and, as a result, was willing to bend the laws for them. Anna's phone started ringing, and she told Rick to get himself out. Love General Hospital, B&B, Days, or other soap operas? Join the debate on our SC forums. Click here to interact with fans and participate in debates immediately. Alexis went to Quartermain's to see Scout, but she was already asleep. She thanked Olivia for allowing Scout and Danny to stay there. Olivia stated Alexis was welcome to live there as well. Alexis informed Olivia that she believed Scout and Danny should live with her. Alexis pointed out that Drew would spend a lot of time in Washington if elected, and she didn't think Jason was ready to parent a teenager. "I don't think Sam would want Jason to raise Danny alone," Alexis added. Olivia and Alexis sat on the couch, crying over Sam. "You know how they say mothers shouldn't outlive their children?" "It's true," Alexis said sadly. Alexis showed Olivia the ring Dante gave Sam. Olivia mentioned how thrilled Dante had been about it. "I know this sounds crazy, but some part of me is happy that my son got to propose to the woman that he loved more than anything and have her say yes," Olivia told me. "She was so happy," Alexis exclaimed, before tearing down. "I hope this doesn't come across the wrong way, but I'm actually glad you were there with Sam," Olivia said, and Alexis tearfully agreed. Dante stood outside Quartermain's, and Brooke Lynn checked on him. She questioned whether he was frigid, but he answered he didn't know how he felt about anything. Brooke Lynn carried Dante inside and attempted to get him to eat. Dante acknowledged that he did not know how he would care for his family without Sam. Brooke Lynn invited Dante to remain and claimed he was an excellent father. Dante simply didn't feel like a family without Sam. Chase entered, and Dante looked heartbroken as he watched them be a pair. Dante informed Brooke Lynn and Chase that Rocco was silent and attempting to be supportive. Chase mentioned that Sam and Dante were engaged, and Brooke Lynn asked Dante about it. Dante acknowledged his proposal after surgery and then excused himself from the room. Brooke Lynn informed Chase that she had just made a heartbroken man feel even worse. "There is no worse for Dante right now," Chase explained. "It just keeps getting sadder," Brooke Lynn lamented. Brooke Lynn informed Chase she was delighted he was back from Seattle because she missed him. She also mentioned that his snoring comforted her. They recognized their good fortune, particularly in light of Sam's situation. Chase told Violet about his experiences in Seattle. He explained that Violet wanted to remind them that she still wanted a relative. Brooke Lynn suggested they begin taking steps to make this happen. Something like this? Chase spoke before kissing her. Chase and Brooklyn talked about tracking cycles and using apps to prepare for a baby. Chase expressed that he did not want to lose his spontaneity. They agreed that no matter what occurred, they wanted to have a baby together. In the living room, Alexis informed Dante that she was beginning to make funeral arrangements. Dante told her anything she thought was best. He noticed the ring and remembered showing it to his mother before proposing. "It feels like I bought this ring ages ago," Dante stated. "I don't want to rush into things, but I want to give the kids as much stability as I can," Alexis shared with Dante. Alexis went on to say that she knew Dante was grieving, but she believed Danny and Scout should live with her. Dante assumed they'd all be living together at the Quartermaines. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.